Launch ready for WWE Aftershock in 3, 2, 1. World Wrestling Entertainment Discussion is live. Cue host Owen Finch.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to WWE Aftershock Extra. This hopefully will be a short video this time because we've done a lot of long videos, but we're legitimately only talking about one topic this time. So if this video goes 2 hours, then I'm going to be questioning our sanity and stuff, that we're talking about legit one thing for 2 hours. But, you know, we'll see what happens. But I'm the host, Owen the Birdman Finch, and I'm here with the other person that's been the host and probably been on the second most ever episodes of WWE Aftershock. The person that loves to stay faceless on camera, Chris Daw. What's going on today, Chris?
That would be Sin Cara to you. Doing great.
Yeah, you ready to actually do a video? We don't have to rush the ending of the video.
I know we had to do that on Wednesday.
I'll just say this now. There's one thing we forgot to talk about that happened, and that was that transmission thing that happened at the end of NXT. I kind of forgot to talk because I didn't put it in my notes because, like, so that happened. But we won't talk about that really much here because that's more of a Vengeance Day thing. But then we're here with a man that's doing this from his car and claims to be the champion for Aftershock, but I'm pretty sure that's not the case, but we have no evidence to really show that. He doesn't even have the belt with him either, so, like, you know. Yeah, I'm not going to say you had to go somewhere unannounced, but, you know, you gotta carry the belt with you everywhere you go, you know? Everywhere you go, so...
Hey, man, this isn't the Money in the Bank briefcase. The belt can come and go as it pleases. Money in the Bank briefcase comes with you wherever you go.
What are you, John Moxley, who's just never going to show up with his belt? Are you John Moxley all of a sudden?
No, I'm not John Moxley because I can actually speak in coherent sentences, and if I were a professional wrestler, I would actually get creative with the way my show ends rather than just gangbanging everybody every goddamn week.
There you go.
And that's why I don't watch AEW.
There you go.
This sucks.
But yeah, that's let's talk about the predictions, though. We have Royal Rumble coming up. We're recording this before SmackDown, so if there's anything that gets announced, whether there's a competitor that's going to be in the Rumble that we don't know about, or if there's a new match that gets added, or if someone gets injured tonight,
I did hear that Parachute Man might be making his debut in the Rumble.
No, he's not.
You already ruined that. You did. You already.
Sorry, I meant to say Parachute Man Jr., not me.
We'll see about.
I'm just Mark 1. I don't know who Mark 2 or Mark 3 is.
It's clearly not your neighbor either because he failed the show 47 times.
He never showed up.
Hey, man. I mean, we still don't even know who EC1 or EC2 are.
That's true. We don't know.
Because apparently there's 3 of them.
But yeah, so yeah, we'll go around the table or around the horn to kind of decide who's go over our excitement level for the Rumble. We'll start with Chris. What's your excitement level for the Rumble on a scale from 1 to 10, and like kind of just talk about all overall feelings towards the hype around it and everything like that.
My feelings right now are a billion out of 10. I feel like this is going to be one of the biggest Royal Rumbles of all time, if not the biggest Royal Rumble of all time. Just by the fact that we have very little competitors so far in the Rumble.
Yeah.
I think there's only like less than 10. So that means that everything else is a surprise. So depending on who's in it from the roster, who's a free agent, who's from TNA or NXT or whatever. But there's very little announced, and that makes me excited because in the Vince era, it would be there'd be 20 superstars mentioned, like before the show even begins.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's like, okay, sometimes there'd be 25, and it's like, okay, there's only 5 surprises. Like, what's the point? Just put fucking 5 roster members on there that are in catering. But this is like, maybe 10 or less. I think there's only 6, I think, that are actually announced for the Men's Royal Rumble right now. And,
yeah.
So that leads me to think that there's going to be a wealth of surprises.
I agree. I think there's going to be a ton of surprises, so we'll see what happens. But about you, Steve, what's your excitement level going into the Rumble and everything like that?
Based off the fact that I couldn't tell you who's going to win it this year because there's so many good options to win it, my excitement's at an all-time high for recent Royal Rumbles. I'd say at least this decade, I'm pretty confident in saying thus far this will be the best Royal Rumble we've seen in the decade of the 2020s. I think usually that winner's bracket of who you think can win is relatively small. This year it feels real big.
Yeah.
There are a lot of guys that can win, from Seth Rollins to CM Punk to John Cena. I'm looking at the list right now. They're making Sami Zayn have some possibility of winning.
Yeah.
Drew McIntyre, Jey Uso. Like, the winner's circle this year just feels so good. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. I mean, I have a different perspective because obviously last year I was more excited because I actually went last year, and this year I'm just watching it from the comfort of my house. But that's not a bad thing either. I get some nice.
Fun little Rumble story. I've been doing my Rumble rewatches like I always do, and I had it on at work one day. And, I'm just running it by. Everyone's into it. It's Rumble season. Everyone's starting to get excited that ever watched WWE because there's one match. If there's two things people can look at and say, I know what this is, it's WrestleMania and the Royal Rumble. That's what I've kind of come to learn from people who have fallen out of wrestling is they say, oh, I know what this is.
Yeah.
When you see 20 guys throwing each other over the top rope. I was watching the 2001 Rumble. Everyone walked in the room as the celebrity is making his way out. If you know, you know. And everyone goes, oh my God, it's Jim Carrey.
Yep.
The Mask. Like, no, that's Drew Carey.
That's funny.
Everyone thought Drew Carey was fucking Jim Carrey. And it was awesome.
But yeah, so I'm excited about it. I attended last year, but this year will be fun because I get to, and I get to watch the show twice because I'm going to an event the next day that's watching this event. I assume they're not going to they want to do it after the show's aired, so that because we're rented out like a hall type of thing to watch it, so probably makes sense to do it. Because they're probably not going to watch the kickoff or any of that. They'll probably just watch the event itself. But yeah, I'm excited about this. We have 4 matches, like you said, for both Rumbles this year, too. It's very unpredictable who's going to win both of them. And then, you have 2 matches. That's pretty exciting. And I think Triple H, it seems like he's gotten the format right with the Rumble because obviously once they started doing 2 Rumbles, Vince still loaded the show with other matches. I think 4 matches, if you can have the Rumble be a one-night show, is the good amount. Obviously next year we could be having a different conversation and the Rumble could be 2 nights. Obviously we'll be having a different conversation because of where the Rumble is. But yeah, I'm excited about it, but let's just get right into it. We'll cover the 2 matches though that isn't related to the Rumble first. The first one is the 2 out of 3 falls match for the WWE Tag Team Championships. We have DIY defending against Motor City Machine Guns. Chris and I kind of did a deep dive talking about this match on Wednesday / yesterday if you uploaded it. I think this match is going to end up being the sleeper match. It seems like every pay-per-view match or PLE match that a wrestling show always has a sleeper match, and I think this is going to be it. I actually think this is going to surprise a lot of people. I feel like it's not going to be much in the beginning because I imagine this is going to follow one of the Rumble matches, but once it kind of gets into that high gear, it's going to be like one of the best tag matches we could have seen. Obviously, too, this is obviously harkens back to the old NXT days, because obviously DIY is very good in the 2 out of 3 falls format when it comes to tag matches and stuff. I think this match will be very good. They've obviously had classic matches on SmackDown. And I feel like this is going to be interesting, too, because this is the first time with DIY are going to be on the heel side of things when it comes to, doing this type of style and everything like that. Usually they're the faces. Now it's the other way around.
In NXT leading up to that halftime heat show.
Yep. So, I'm excited about this.
Yeah, in a world where we're now witnessing the collaboration of NXT and TNA, that's kind of what I'm hoping to get out of this match is the NXT version of DIY and the TNA version of the Motor City Machine Guns. Maybe if they're going to do a package video before it, they kind of show it from that perspective because they have the ability to do it now. So
That's right.
sometimes I think just because you can, you shouldn't. I think this is the case of just because you can, you should.
Yeah. But yeah, Steve, you have to go first because I guess you're the champion, even though I don't think that's the case. But we're not gonna make the same mistake you made where you gave all your predictions first and then you had someone pick the same thing and it's a tie type of thing. We're not doing that this year type of thing. We're not having that happen. So, but yeah,
you know what I remember about that show is I forget who. Someone had the Money in the Bank, and at the last minute, I said they were gonna cash in and win. I think it might have been when it might have been SummerSlam a couple years ago when Baron Corbin had the briefcase and they friggin' blew it the show before. I'm like, God dang it. But
because Corbin,
I'm gonna say this new run DIY is on. I don't see them ending it quite yet, so I am gonna have to give this one to DIY. I think there's a lot more you can do with them now that they're heels. I think you can have Ciampa really turn back into the black card of NXT on the main roster. I would like to see, hopefully down the line, maybe Theory and if Indy Hartwell, if she gets re-signed, join back up with Gargano and DIY kind of turns into the way.
Well, unfortunately, that can't happen because A-Town Down Under went to Raw and DIY are still on SmackDown, so that cannot happen.
Yeah, I mean, down the line, obviously, I think... out of the two of them, I think Gargano has more heel heat longevity-wise, whereas Ciampa, while it's shorter, is going to peak a lot higher. But that's kind of beside the point. I don't see DIY losing the belts this early.
Yeah. What about you, Chris? I'll let you go. Oh, there's more.
Yeah, I was going to say, it'll be, not that it matters, not that we're counting this prediction, but 2-1 DIY.
Okay. Yeah, Chris, what about you? What do you think is going to happen here type of thing? I'll show I care about you and that you go next because I always had you go last and you didn't think I care about you. So this time I'll have you go next.
Yeah, so now you do. So I'm the same thing as Steve. I think DIY is going to win. It's too early for them to drop the belts right now. I think I said that on the Aftershock. I think WrestleMania is where they'll drop them. They need to go on a bit of a long run because I don't know what they would do afterwards. Like, it's the same thing that Motor City is going to be in. It's like, okay, what's after this feud with Motor City? Like what's happening next? But, yeah, DIY just wins. It's too early to have them drop the belts.
And what do you think the score will be at the end of this?
Same thing, 2-1. I think each of them going to get a pinfall. I think Motor City are going to get the one early to get the crowd kind of like reanimated again because it's going to come after a Rumble match, or probably the women's. So they're going to have to amp up the crowd a little bit. So I think if Motor City gets like not like a quick win, but like a really like it could get the crowd like hyped up again.
Yeah.
But I'll go next. I think the same thing. I think DIY retains. I think there's too early to take the titles off of them. They also still have to do that storyline where the Street Profits come back because obviously, they were attacked the night they were supposed to get their title shot against Motor City again. And obviously, the implication, it seems, that they're telling is that it's either Pretty Deadly that did it or it's DIY that did it. It's probably going to be DIY that did it, so that way they could get the title shot. And then led to, like, Gargano. I mean, Ciampa was kind of already going here on that process, but Gargano was the one that finally went heel. And I feel like you could get a lot out of a DIY Street Profits feud because that can be when Street Profits finally get the title since they haven't had it in so long. Like Chris said, maybe they'll do like a ladder match at WrestleMania. I like the opposite. I would like them to do a chamber match for the tag titles and then the 2v2 tag match at Mania. But we'll have to wait and see. I think the men's chamber is probably going to be something involving something else. But we'll talk about that later.
Tag team chamber match would be awesome again.
Yeah. But And I think it is going to be 2-1, but I'm going to go the opposite. I think DIY would get the first win. I think to kind of get the crowd into it, since it's a follow a Rumble match, I think DIY immediately will do some cheap tactics where they get a fall right away, and Motor City will have to like come back, and they'll get another fall, and then then DIY will heal it out to get the win. I feel like kind of that would be I won't complain if it doesn't happen, but I think that would be the smart direction. Have DIY get a quick heel win unexpectedly where no one expects it. It's type of thing.
So one thing I could see happening now that I'm kind of thinking about it is I think DIY gets that first fall, but then the machine guns just fight back, brutalize them, and they're getting close to getting that second fall for themselves. But Ciampa just snaps and winds up getting a DQ, so that's how they get their one. And then that way, when they beat them, because they kind of took the cheap route, they can be like, oh, we beat them and they never even pinned us.
Right.
And then you get to Elimination Chamber, maybe you either run it back or you do the Tag Team Chamber, which would be awesome. I prefer that to be, instead of put teams in pods, it's still 6 people, but it's 3 teams, being the Profits, Machine Guns, and DIY. So it's kind of random who's going to be out.
So like essentially, it's 3 teams, but each member of the team doesn't come out for it's instead of 3.
Right. It's still one person at a time, because then you can do that, and maybe the Machine Guns win it back there because they pin the Profits. And then DIY's like, oh, you're the champs that never pinned us. And that's how you get that rematch at Mania. So, it's good because you have options.
Yeah. I do have to ask a question with the rules of that chamber match, though. Is it going to be one of those things where one of your partners pin you out? Because, say, Montez Ford entered, and he got pinned before Angelo Dawkins ever came out. Or would it be one of those things where you have to beat both members of it?
It'd be elimination-style tag team.
Yeah,
just because one's gone doesn't mean you're both gone.
Yeah.
Well, if they do a tag team battle royal, if a tag team wrestler gets eliminated, their entire team's eliminated. I'm like, but that other person didn't get eliminated yet. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. I remember Survivor
Vince
Series.
always did that. Hated it.
I remember Survivor Series 2016. The New Day got eliminated right away, and Big E never tagged into the match or anything like that. He was we're gone. But yeah, let's continue going through. This we have the other match. It's not a Rumble match on this show. It's the ladder match for the Undisputed WWE Championship, where this match, the Undisputed and the Win Eagle Championship belts are going to be suspended high above the ring. It's Cody Rhodes defending against the person who claims he's also the champion, Kevin Owens, because obviously he thinks he should be the...
Kevin Owens and I have a lot in common.
You do. Obviously, this is...
We both claim to be champions. The difference is only one of us actually is the champion.
I don't know. I might have to go. That's a quick watch of the predictions. I can. I don't think he did one prediction last year, so I'm pretty sure that's not the case. I'm pretty sure Chris is the champion, but Chris hasn't fighted you on it, so I have to accept that. If Chris had fought you on it, I would.
I don't fucking remember.
Remember, I'm the official, unofficial champion.
There you go.
And that's official.
I think Steve actually is the champion because I think he won it, then we stopped doing it.
Okay, so maybe he is. But yeah, obviously this feud has.
Did we do any last year predictions?
We did Mania, but I don't know if Steve won or not. I don't even know if he did.
Yes,
it.
we did it one time.
Hornswoggle was technically the cruiserweight champion when that belt brought back, but we like to ignore that, so you can ignore the fact that I might have been the champion.
But anyhow, so
I'm pretty sure you did win Mania, then we just stopped doing it.
Yeah, because obviously we got busy. But yeah, so this feud has had a lot put into it. This has been going on really since the summer last year, but then it kicked into high gear once Kevin Owens turned heel off cam. Well, kind of off camera, sort of. It was on camera, but
a unique way to do it.
Yeah, and then obviously. We've had this delusional side of Kevin Owens where he's upset with Cody because obviously he's teamed up with Roman Reigns and stuff. Very interesting feud. They had a killer match at Saturday night's main events where KO got kind of robbed out of that. And then obviously we're going to have this ladder match here. I think this ladder match is going to be... I don't think this will be a sleeper, but I think this ladder match isn't going to be the traditional WWE ladder match. I think there's going to be a lot of hate behind it and a lot of... I think they're going to do some crazy stuff. Probably nothing too crazy, just because obviously they want to get Cody and KO to Mania. I don't think they're gonna do some like I don't think we're gonna see. I think a lot of people are thinking we're probably gonna see like a package power driver like to Cody onto a ladder. I don't think you're gonna see something like that. You might see something like that, but I don't think you will because I feel like then they don't want to risk injury with Cody or anything like that. Especially too because they just risked injury because they don't have JD McDonough. For a couple months now, so but yeah, we've had a couple matches on WWE's side of things lately. Like Dakota Kai got injured recently, so it will kind of make WWE look bad if everyone just keeps getting injured every match that they have. So I can see WWE wanted to not play it safe, but not want to do anything crazy. But we'll see. As for I think wins, if you would ask me like a month ago, I would say Cody easily wins. But there's a lot up in the air when it comes to the WWE title match at Mania. Obviously they've done the Sami Zayn stuff now, so we'll question if he's going to play a role into this because KO and Sami, tease to have a match at Mania, and Cody can go do something else at WrestleMania. Because then what do you do with Cody after he gets through this KO feud? Does he? Type of thing. But I think Cody retains the belt. I think he's doing really well as champion. I feel like this KO feud finally brought the best out of his title reign, other than probably the stuff he was like doing with like AJ and the Bloodline stuff. I think he's been doing some really good stuff lately, and I think there's more you can still do with Cody as champion. Obviously, they could do something where Randy Orton comes back and costs KO the match, or they could do something where Sami doesn't actually even help at all, and KO gets upset about it, and that leads to their match at WrestleMania if that's the direction they want to go down. I think Cody retains. I think it's going to be a really intense match. And I think it's going to be probably one of the best ladder matches on WWE side of things that we've seen in a long time. I can't think of another one that they've had. And I just fucked up because I went first. But so Steve can just pick, Cody Rhodes. So I forgot it.
I mean, all right. Look, let's just get this out of the way. We're all picking Cody, correct?
I mean, yeah.
Don't feel bad, Owen. I come on. There's just no way Kevin's gonna win the belt right before WrestleMania.
We're getting a Bloodline and Cody thing at WrestleMania this year, I think again.
And how it happens is kind of what we're here to talk about. I safe to say Cody Rhodes is walking out of the Royal Rumble the champion, and I thought whenever there's two belts above the ring, the idea goes to everyone's head, oh, what if one grabs one and one grabs the other? I don't see it happening because this is the end of the Cody Rhodes-Kevin Owens feud.
Yeah, definitely.
Cody's gonna... There could be a fallout on SmackDown where Kevin says, you didn't pin me, and they have a quick match in the main event, and he pins him, and that's it. But, it's over this week.
I do think that if Cody does win, I don't think Sami gets involved because of, he's so conflicted because he haluva kicked two of his actual friends, and Seth and Cody. So, I mean, they're kind of going in the direction of him going heel, but I don't think that's going to happen.
So I'm thinking that, but kind of the opposite a little bit. So I think Sami does get involved, and Kevin Owens will have Cody dead to rights in the corner, set up for a haluva kick, and Sami's going to run and kick him. And obviously, Sami's going to look shocked like, geez, what did I just do? And then, Cody's going to come to, and that'll be what leads to the end of the match. And then, I think you could see Kevin walking out during the Rumble, but he's not going to cost Sami. And then, it leads to him being like, hey, man, I know what you did the last 2 weeks was accidental. I believe you, and I know that you kicked me and it was an accident, so... I came out wanting to eliminate you, and I didn't, but I kind of did. So, hey, we're even, dude. And you're going to see Kevin kind of gaslight him a little bit, and that'll be a kickstart of their feud. So, I could see something like that happening.
But yeah, so we're all picking Cody. But now we have the two Rumble matches. And yeah, let's just get to them. Anything else? Because you didn't really get to chime in much, Chris. Anything else you want to say about the WWE Championship match and all that stuff?
I just don't. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that. I mean, I could see them going the direction of Sami going heel and then teaming up with Kevin as heels, but they've already done the tag team already. They did it last year, Mania season. They haven't faced each other in 8 years.
Yeah, it's a long time.
So I think they're going that direction. So I think that's. So I think Sammy not getting involved or Sammy getting involved and slightly helping Cody, I think will lead to them having a match at Mania.
But yeah, let's get to the Rumble matches. We'll start with the women's one first. Yeah, whoever wins this will get a championship match at WrestleMania. I imagine it's just the main belts, because obviously this is the first year where whether we've had the women's Rumble and there's 2 mid-card belts. I imagine it'll just be Raw, the WWE Women's, the World Heavyweight, and the NXT title potentially. Sometimes that's included, sometimes it isn't, so we'll see what happens. But let's go through the competitors real quick. All representing SmackDown, we have Nia Jax. I almost said Nikita Lyons there, actually, which that would have been bad.
Ooh.
Fiona.
But yeah, all representing SmackDown, Nia Jax, Charlotte Flair, and both women's tag team champions. Naomi and Bianca Belair. And then all representing Raw, we have Bayley, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Lyra Valkyria, who's the women's Intercontinental Champion, Ivy Nile, and Io Sky. Again, we're recording this before SmackDown, so if anybody else gets announced before the Rumble and stuff, we can't really predict if they're going to win or not, because we don't really know that they're in it, type of thing.
It seems like Charlotte, by the way that they're hyping it up, and by the way.
No, she's on. I said Charlotte. She's on here.
Yeah.
But yeah, Steve, you'll start this off. You can go over the rules about what we have for predictions for the Rumble, and you could kind of go through who you think will win the Rumble and everything like that.
Yeah, so the rules and the terms we agreed to for predicting the Rumble is we have 3 predictions for who's going to win the Rumble, 2 predictions for what number is going to win the Rumble, and then 3 predictions for surprise entries.
Yep.
And these can range from NXT superstars to returning superstars to legends to now TNA superstars.
Yes.
Yeah. So, Chris, you want to start this one off with your Rumble predictions?
No, you got to go first. Remember, you're the champ.
Oh, right, yeah. I tried trickering him.
Yeah, no. I made that mistake already.
Yeah, no, that's right.
And Chris, you can't say you can't say I don't look out for you, because I just saved you from giving away your Rumble predictions right there. So you can't
give it away.
Yeah. That just goes to show I'm not used to being.
You try to copy me.
All right, so my 3 predictions for who's going to win the Women's Rumble. Easy one to go with is Charlotte Flair. She would be my least likely out of my picks to win the Rumble, because I think she's going to be tossed out by Becky Lynch, and you can put that on my returning superstars predictions.
There you go.
I see Becky coming back in the match and tossing Charlotte out. So Charlotte, Becky, and then if I had to pick one more person who I could see winning, very sadly, I have to go with Liv Morgan. I don't like the hype behind Liv Morgan. I don't think she's that talented, but WWE does, and they might give her the win here, sadly.
All right. And then your 3...
Liv, Charlotte, and Becky are my predictions for winners.
Now, are we doing this, whoever, wins, or, you just get the point type of thing, or is there going to be, a certain point thing of, because you said Charlotte Flair.
You just get the point.
Okay. Because some people kind of do...
Yeah, and then, as for numbers I think are going to win, you can't go wrong with 27.
Yep.
And on the invert, actually, I'll go with 27-29. 27-29 is what I feel good with for the Women's Rumble.
Well, does that rule still apply to the... Because technically the women's and the men's Rumbles have, different statistics. So, does that statistic apply to the Women's Rumble? Because obviously the men's, that's when the 27 had the most. So you kind of...
Well, if it does, then it does. And if it doesn't, it's never too late to start, I guess.
Okay, there you go. So...
And, so 27-29 for the women's. And then for returning stars, I already said one, Becky Lynch. I think it's time for her to get back in the ring.
Yep.
From TNA, I should clarify, not from TNA, but jumping from TNA to WWE, as it's been strongly hinted at, Jordan Grace.
Well, that one we might have. She's already signed a contract with WWE, so I don't think she counts anymore. So.
All right. Well, she's still not listed, so I'll go with her first.
All right, we tried to save you.
Hey, she's not announced, man. She's not on the list.
There you go.
So yeah, Becky, Jordan Grace, and from NXT, Roxanne Perez.
Yeah, it's always an easy one. All right. Yeah, Chris, you got to do all your stuff, all your predictions for the Women's Rumble, and Chris. Steve, your numbers. Oh, you already said your numbers, 27 and 29. Okay. This is why you're gonna have to text me this later because I'll forget because I already forgot. You just told me. So, but yeah, Chris. So yeah, your Rumble winners, your numbers, and your surprise entrance. One from Legends and stuff. One from TNA, and one from NXT.
So I'm going to go Charlotte also, and Bianca and Bayley. I just feel like I've been seeing a lot of things. They might want to run back Bianca versus Rhea at WrestleMania. So maybe she wins it there, or future down the line. But my surprises are Trish Stratus, Masha Slamovich, and Stephanie Vaquer.
There you go. I do have to ask, by the way, doesn't Charlotte, because I know she's technically returning on this show, but she's already announced. So does she count as a return, technically? Because she's returning on this show? Because that's kind of a weird thing.
She's listed on the match.
Yeah, she's listed on the match, so I wouldn't think that's like a...
Right.
If she was a surprise and wasn't announced 4 weeks in advance, then yeah, that's a different story.
And then what numbers, Chris?
So for the women's, I got 15 and 20.
All right. All right, so I'll go next. I think for winners, I'm going to go Charlotte Flair. She's been out of action for over a year. Really, like 2 years, because she missed most of 2023, actually. And I think she's really been out of action 3 years, because she missed most of 2022 also. She's been kind of out of the limelight a lot. And there's two unique not really unique, but two matches story-wise you can go with whoever she picks, because obviously you can do the trilogy with Rhea Ripley, and then obviously Tiffany Stratton's a fresh face that she hasn't wrestled yet, and that's like a dream match with Tiffany Stratton. And there's actually storylines you can do with it. It's not just a dream match that's just happening, and like you can build to that and everything like that. And then I'm also gonna go Becky Lynch. I think she'll get a big pop when she returns. And again, she's been out of action. There's a lot of things you can do with Becky Lynch, like she could face Rio again, because obviously there's a lot of storyline implications there with Rhea beat Becky last year, and then when Becky won the belt last year, she didn't beat Rhea type of thing. And I don't know Rhea needs a big WrestleMania opponent. I think Becky's and Charlotte are like the two biggest ones you can do, where it's kind of a big fight field type of thing. And then somebody else from the woman. This is kind of a tough one. And I think I am gonna go out on a limb and say Io Sky. I think there's everyone really likes Io Sky, and there's a lot of stuff you can do with Io Sky. I'm pretty sure her and Rhea have history and every type of thing from NXT that they could always bring back. How Io pinned her for the belt before Rhea went for this transformation. And then obviously you could go the Tiffany Stratton route, because I'm pretty sure, Tiffany Stratton's talked a lot of crap about Io Sky and stuff. So I'm going to go Io Sky. If I had to, again, even though it doesn't matter, if I had to go least likely to likely, I'll go Io Sky, then Becky Lynch, and then Charlotte Flair. And then as for my numbers, I'm going to go late in the match, because I remember last year, Bayley won it like early from like number 3 position. And because most of my predictions are surprise entrances, I'm going to go 28, and then I am also going to play it safe, since Io Sky is one of my predictions. Because, I'm trying to get double the points, too, because if Io Sky wins and it's like the same number-ish, I'll get double the points for that, I think. Is that correct, or am I wrong on that type of thing? This is true.
You would get a point for Io and a point for the number.
So I am going to go probably going to be way off. I am going to go. I think Io Sky will come out relatively early, so I am going to go number 12 for Io. Just in case Io Sky comes out around that range. And then obviously too, I got to pick my surprise entrances. So I'm going to try to go different too, because obviously if I just pick the same, then we're going to be in a tiebreaker situation. For NXT, I think we're going to get Kalani Jordan. You know, she's someone that's been built up in NXT a lot and everything like that. And she's pretty athletic. She can do like a Kofi type of elimination save type of thing. So I think I'm going to go Kalani Jordan. And then from TNA, I was going to say Masha Slamovich, but I don't want to say her now because Chris just did. So I don't want to get into a tiebreaker situation. Trying to think of the roster that we have. We have Jordan Grace. We have this person. I'm just going to play it safe and just say Masha Slamovich because she also just showed up at NXT recently. So I'll just go logical and just go with Masha Slamovich. And as for a legend, someone that's going to return, this is an unfortunate one, I have to say. Nikki Bella, considering the fact that she just came back at the Netflix Raw, and you know, there's talks and reports that they're going to try to get her back in the ring. And I know she can't really do anything physically, obviously, because of neck issues and stuff. I think you could play it safe and just have her show up in a Rumble match and just have her do stuff. So unfortunately, Nikki Bella is Chris isn't going to like that prediction. But hey, you know what? If it gets me the champion. Huh?
I wonder why they don't bring Brie Bella back. Could it be that she maybe showed up on another show on a Wednesday? I don't know. Maybe.
That was so odd. Like when it was just Nikki that showed up and not Brie on the first Raw on Netflix, I was like, that seems very.
It was such a if you know moment.
I do have to ask a question then. Does Brie have to go by still Brie Garcia and Nikki just goes by Nikki Bella? Like that's a kind of a, because that's a whole branding is the Garcia twins, Bella twins then. I wonder how that works.
I think WWE views them as the Bella twins, but AEW probably views them as the Garcia twins.
So I wonder how does that work though? If because
real.
But how does that work? But how does that work though? If you know, Nikki goes to WWE and does signs a Legends deal, and Brie doesn't, type of thing. How does that branding work, type of thing?
Probably just work something out that they just use their real last name.
So,
but more importantly, that's what I like to call Tony's problem.
Yeah, because I don't think WWE will really see it as a problem, type of thing.
Although a good thing is though, with that we don't have to hear that god awful fucking Brie mode theme song ever again.
Hey, she could be a return though.
True.
She could be a return. So,
hey, for the record, this is not a prediction. This is more of a want. It'd be sick because I've seen this name tossed around a lot on people's wish lists, and I agree with it. It would be sick if Jazz showed up.
Yeah, because she did a lot of stuff. And she could, 2021, she was wrestling pretty regularly for Impact, so she can go. So
I would love to see Jazz show up with Teddy Long as her manager for the Rumble.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
She could do the White Girl Challenge.
But yeah, let's go over the men's Rumble now, where if you win this match, you get a World Championship match at WrestleMania 41. Obviously, it would be the WWE Undisputed Championship, the World Heavyweight Championship, and I think the NXT title. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. I think it might be the case this year, just because it's like NXT is kind of treated like a third brand. And announced for the match so far. All representing SmackDown, it's LA Knight, Roman Reigns, Shinsuke Nakamura, who's the United States the men's United States champion. I guess you have to be clear on that now. And we forgot to talk about this really enough. Carmelo Hayes, because he announced himself off camera, during a segment after Raw this week. But Chris and I didn't have time to talk about that. So we had to pull a Tony. You can't talk about that. So. And then all represented Monday Night Raw, we have CM Punk, Jey Uso, Seth freaking Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Rey Mysterio, Sami Zayn, Logan Paul, Penta, Chad Gable, and the men's Intercontinental Champion, Braun Breaker, and then the only free agent slash unaffiliated brand, because that's according to Wikipedia, is John Cena. Obviously, this is a big thing because this is going to be John Cena's last Royal Rumble. Not his last match. I think a lot of people who don't watch wrestling full time think this is his last match, but it's his last Rumble. So I've got to make that clear. So this is his last Rumble. So yeah, obviously, I think Chris, we didn't really talk about this yet, but Chris and I have talked about this behind the scenes. This might be, other than 2001, like the most star-studded Royal Rumble match I think we've had in a long time. You know, everyone that's been announced so far, for the most part, has been a world champ, you know, in the main event seed. And everyone's like a pretty big name and everything like that. So yeah, I'm excited to see who could win this Royal Rumble. And again, we're gonna do the same thing. You know, same rules apply for these predictions. But we're gonna start with Steve this time because Steve's not gonna pull that crap again. Yeah, I know he's not gonna try it again, but like, you know, I'm just to make sure.
I mean, if you want to go first, Owen, feel free.
No, I can't do it. You know, at least I wasted it with the Cody one going first. So I can't waste it with this one because this could be a I get the belt type of thing. So.
Right. Alrighty. So I think for this match, we've all seen it. The favorite going into this match right now is John Cena.
Yeah.
With that being said, gentlemen, let's make a deal. Instead of me predicting three, I'm willing to predict 2, but there's a catch. Because my honest prediction of how this Royal Rumble ends is that I think we see CM Punk and Seth Rollins double eliminate each other, similar to what Brett and Lex did all those years ago. So, instead of me giving myself an opportunity for 3 points, how's about if that happens, I get 3 points from that alone?
Hey, you know, I'll allow it, obviously. I don't think they're that dumb to do that.
He's trying to cheat his way to a victory.
Oh, Chris doesn't sound like he's going to allow it, but, I feel like because it wasn't unanimous, I think we can't allow it type of thing, because Chris said no.
Alright, fair enough. That is what I think's going to happen. There's going to be some shenanigans, but I won't be mean and steal Cena from one of you. You guys can both predict them if you want.
All right.
CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Braun Breaker. I could see a shock where Breaker maybe goes on a complete effing rampage and winds up winning it.
Okay. And does he lose does he do the Warrior thing that he did back in, was it 90?
Yep.
Yeah, so. But yeah, then your numbers. What numbers win?
For numbers, I have number 5 and number 30.
Okay. I assume 30 is the safe route in case Cena comes out 30 or something type of thing.
I actually think Cena would be shocked by coming out early and him running an Iron Man.
And then your legend, you'll put it your 3 surprise entrants.
I got one of each for you. So for a return that I think counts as both active and legend, I'm going Randy Orton.
Okay.
I think Randy Orton makes his comeback here. From NXT, I got Mr. Should have been called up 2 years ago and now is just losing steam, Tony D.
Okay.
Tony D'Angelo. And then the most likely surprise, because everybody and their grandmother wants to see it. If you say his name, he shows up. Joe Hendry.
He didn't show up, so. But I'm going next because I let Chris go first the last time, so it's only fair I go next this time.
For the record, Joe Hendry never clarified where he's going to appear if you say his name. No, he might say his name and he just shows up in some random dude's apartment.
That's true.
Like, what the hell is he doing there?
What if you said like other words in between Joe Hendry type of thing, like Joe and then something else and then Hendry? Does that still count? Does it have to be his name like together type of thing? So
this is true.
I mean, it is Netflix now. It could be Joe fucking Hendry.
But anyhow, so I'm gonna go next. A lot of intrigue about this Rumble. a lot of people could show up and win this. There's a lot of options. If I had to make a prediction, I'm gonna go. Because also too, I think whoever wins it, most likely is gonna pick the world heavyweight title. I think they're gonna, because last year they picked the WWE title and kind of swerved us that way. Kind of. Well, swerved us, but didn't swerve us, because obviously it was.
Well, he's not going to be in it.
Yeah, but I'm just saying swerved us, but didn't swerve us. So, but yeah, as for my predictions, I am going to go Seth freaking Rollins. A match between him and Gunther would be awesome, I think. I think that'd be really cool. As for the other one, John Cena, it's his last Rumble. This would be the last year where someone can win the Rumble 3 times. Obviously, because they did that last year where Cody won the Rumble 2 years in a row. That he could go on that limited thing where I think just Stone Cold's won it 3 times, so John Cena can do the same. And obviously, too, this last Rumble, he can choose which title. And the whole thing that he said is he doesn't have a lot of singles wins, but because Cena's announced for the Chamber, I actually think there's going to be there's going to be some type of match where whoever wins gets to fight for the world title, whether that's the WWE or World Heavyweight. I think Cena could just enter that match, since he's going to be in Canada anyways, and win that match. A lot of people don't think that will happen, obviously, because it's the Chamber, but if it was the old Chamber, I would buy it, because they would want to protect Cena, but because it's a different Chamber this time, there's a less chance that Cena could get injured unless he, goes into the plexiglass and, it all gets in his eyes or something, but we'll see. It's probably not going to happen, but it could. And then, obviously, my main pick is, I think it's going to be CM Punk. I think this is CM Punk's year to win the Royal Rumble. I think obviously with Cena and Punk, I feel like it's their last chance to win it, and I think they're gonna go with Punk because I think Punk's gonna be off, and there's not gonna be as much for him to do other than Cena. I think Cena, there's other stories he can do where it's a struggle for him to get that world title match at WrestleMania type of thing. And again, he's already announced for the Chamber, so there's a Chamber match. He can just have that match in. I'm gonna pick CM Punk as my main pick, and as for entrance, I'm gonna go 27. For the same reason Steve said. And I think Punk's going to be in there early also, because they kind of alluded to the fact that, in his interview that he did with Jackie Redmond this week, he mentioned that this is the last hurdle of his triceps injury. I think they're going to have CM Punk pull an Iron Man performance. And I am going to go number 4. I think CM Punk will come out number 4. So, really random number, but it's a number. Number 4.
It is a number. It is.
So, and as for the surprise entrances, for NXT, I'm going to go Trick Williams. I think he would get a pretty big pop, and I think it's time for him to finally show up again on the main roster. They made a mistake not doing that last year, because I remember he was there, in the area last year, and he didn't show up in the Rumble, so I think this year is going to be the case, and he's still pretty over. So I think Trick Williams is, and he's getting called up soon, so this would be kind of a good way for him to be on the road and get, a big pop and everything like that. For TNA, because I want to be different from Steve and stuff. Now, does Josh Alexander is no longer with TNA? Is this the same Jordan Grace? Does Josh Alexander count, or is he a free agent?
Yeah, I'd be good with that.
A little bit longer because his contract comes up end of the month, I think.
So I'm gonna go Josh Alexander. I think Josh Alexander. They'll work something out because of this partnership. He can be in the Rumble, and it keeps him.
Yeah, they seem to have a really good working relationship right now. So if he says, "Hey, once that contract is up, I am going here," TNA would look very good if they did a show of good faith and just said, "You know what, just go."
Yeah.
Just go, handshaking deals until you're up, but you're fine.
I mean, obviously, it's gonna make WWE look bad because they just did this partnership, and they're gonna take 2 of TNA's big stars like Jordan Grace and Josh Alexander. So we'll have to have a conversation.
Small sidetrack. I will say WWE needs to, I think, up their game a little bit in the partnership and stop going, "Oh yeah, we gave you NXT." There are some people on Raw and SmackDown that could benefit from a trip.
Oh, definitely. And as for a return, I know this isn't going to happen, but I'm going to pick it just to go completely out of left field. either they've just been keeping it quiet, his contract status, I think it comes up in February, but they're very vague on the details. They could just be lying to like Meltzer and everything like that. I'm gonna go Aleister Black. I think Aleister Black contract in AEW actually is up. They're just keeping it very quiet and everything like that. So I'm gonna go Aleister Black. Well, Malachi Black, whatever he is when he goes back to, because I know
I remember when he was going to AEW and we were predicting his name, and I was like, and the boyfriend I was going, "Oh my God, it's Black Al!"
That was awesome. But yeah, I'll go Malachi Black, Aleister Black, Tommy Ends, whatever he is, because I don't want to hear something where like he comes in as like Malachi Black, and I said Aleister Black, and Chris and Steve are like, well, technically it wasn't Aleister Black, so
The best was when Eric Rowan debuted in AEW he didn't debut, he just showed up for the Brody Lee tribute show. And Jericho's trying to be all cool and give him a new name. He's like, "Oh my God, it's Eric Redbeard." And Tony's like, "No, it's Eric Rowan."
That's awesome.
"No, it's Eric Redbeard." "No, Chris, that's Eric Rowan. He didn't change his freaking name."
Well, apparently he did, because then that ended up being his name when he showed up one more time, type of thing. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, speaking of, we're talking about Chris's. Let's get to the most important Chris right now. Chris Dodd,
Me!
Yeah, you got to do all your fancy stuff type of thing, all those predictions.
Okay. So, 2 out of the 3 picks, Owen, we have the same. I'm not fucking changing them. I don't care. Punk and John Cena. Everyone knows why I'm picking John. I picked him fucking a month ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking legend, my absolute hero. I went to go see him wrestle live at a house show in the South Shore Music Circus, and we looked at each other in the eyes, and I looked away because I got scared. So I felt like he lost
that one.
I feel like he lost that match against Edge because I didn't give him moral support, and I regret it to this day. I have, like, not really out of left field, but someone that could get nuclear heat is Logan Paul.
Yeah.
I feel like that's someone that they could do just to throw it out there, and it would get nuclear levels of heat. Two of my 3 kind of tie into each other. I'm going Wes Lee for NXT and Zachary Wentz for TNA. I think they're going to be in the Rumble together at some point because they have that. Because Wesley and his goons cost the Rascals their tag team title match last week, I think it was, on TNA TV. So I feel like that's going to tie in. And this one, it's been talked about for a very long time, and I'm going to keep on predicting it if it doesn't happen every year. Woo woo woo, you know it. Matt Ryder, baby.
Matt Ryder, that's awesome.
Matt Ryder, Matt Cardona, Zack Ryder, whatever the hell it is.
Matt Ryder,
this is the year that he finally makes his Royal Rumble return.
Just as
I think Matt Ryder may be the best variation of his name I've heard.
Whatever they feel like using.
The real wrestling thug, Matt Ryder.
Now, is this a one-off, or is this a full-on return?
I think for the time being, it might be a one-off, but I can also see it being a full-fledged return. But he loves doing the indies. He loves doing GCW, so maybe they work out something where he can work GCW also, too.
Yeah.
I mean, hear me out on this idea. Charlotte Flair and Andrade versus Matt Ryder and Chelsea Green mixed match challenge.
Well, they had a mixed match challenge first type of thing. So,
yeah. I'm low key. I was having this discussion with my brother the other day. We were saying, if a lot of the real life husband and wife duos were in mixed match challenge now, it'd actually be very watchable.
It really would be, yeah.
Like Jimmy and Naomi would be a good team.
Yeah, they would. Well, I thought they were. I think they were a team when they did it originally, actually. So,
obviously, you could run it back with Braun and Alexa.
If Alexa comes back, if she comes back, yeah. So
Actually, no, it's Braun and Raquel. That's a real thing now.
no, I think they broke up like a while ago. So
Oh, did they?
yeah, they did.
Yeah, like over a year ago now.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I'm behind.
A long time
behind the
ago.
ball. I'm behind the ball.
2.
Oh, what numbers, by the way, Chris? I don't think he said the numbers.
18, and 24.
Okay.
Going a little bit later this time.
Yeah, I feel like one will be early and one will be late. Because I'm pretty sure they always switch it out. Because last year Bailey won it early, and I think I remember Cody wasn't like towards the end, but I remember he was like late last year type of thing.
Because his return, he was 30.
Yeah, but
I will say I like. Yeah, I remember that he was 30. I like people's conspiracy theory that The Rock's coming out at number 31.
I do like that one. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But
They know
just to be clear with my idea with Punk and Rollins, I think maybe not so much Brett and Luger, but Brett and Stone Cold, where Punk dumps Rollins over, but maybe like Cena is getting into it outside with Gunther somehow, so nobody's looking, and then Rollins just slides back in and dumps Punk out.
That'd be funny. You have to ask a question. What if they do your idea and Punk and Rollins win? Do I get 2 points for that? Because technically Rollins and Punk both won the Rumble, so it'll be like
Yeah, technically, yeah.
I could get triple points because Rollins could come out.
So we all predicted Rollins and Punk for one or two of our three, correct?
Yeah, I think.
I'm cool. I'm cool with that, meaning they're both winners. So 2 points.
Well, I would get 4. I could get 4 actually out of that because Punk could come out 4 and Rollins could come out 28, or the other way around. So either way, okay.
Yeah, if that happens, I'm cool with you getting 4 points.
Can I get 5 because I predicted it on the ball?
And they was getting greedy.
Hey, take the
Like,
4.
why don't you give him 50 while you're at it?
I guess I can't get 5. So, you ever notice Chris is the only one that behaved? He's the only one that didn't get yelled at for like doing something wrong. It was just Steve and I that were misbehaving. Chris was well behaved for this prediction.
So I have to discipline because I'm the oldest.
Yeah, see that. So, but yeah, that's the Rumble. Anything? We'll go around. Anything else? Anybody else wants to say about the Rumble before we end this off? We'll start with Chris because he hasn't been able to go first. So.
I'm just excited. If Matt Cardona doesn't debut, I'm going to be very upset and I'm going to rage about it.
I'm pretty sure we all have a prediction from the Legend side of, like, Hall of Fame side of things, except that, like, is different, which is good. So, that's good. I'm pretty sure mine's probably the least likely. Chris is probably the second likely, and Steve went safe and is the most likely to happen. It'd be funny if Randy Orton shows up like in the ladder match and then doesn't even show up for the Rumble type of thing. Or like he shows up.
Hey man, that wouldn't count for me. I said the Rumble, not the ladder match.
Well, so then what if he shows up and isn't a participant but just shows up type of thing? Does that count as him returning if he's not in the match type of thing, but he shows up during the match? No, okay.
No, he
What if
needs
he's
to be a
shown
number.
in the crowd?
No, man, I gotta be a little bit responsible here, or else Chris is gonna yell at me again.
What if he posts like a TikTok or an Instagram story like during the Rumble match in the crowd type of thing, but it doesn't show up on camera or anything like that?
Hey, look, I don't have much. I don't really have much to say that hasn't already been said. I really think Punk Rollins having some shenanigans at the end of the Rumble could be fun and lead to a really good triple threat at Mania. Hopefully, that is my hope. CM Punk, Rollins, and Cody in a triple threat at Mania. I feel like that's a really interesting story, but I am going to double down on what Chris said. Not only does the WWE Universe deserve Zack Ryder, Matt Cardona, Matt Ryder, not only does Chris Dodd deserve him, most importantly, your WWE United States Women's Champion deserves her hubby in WWE. And that is a fact.
Very much so. Yeah, I'm just excited about it. I get to watch the show twice. Both.
So you get to fake react the second time.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why they did it the day later, but that's just how they did it. So, yeah, I get to watch the show twice. Both with ads probably on Peacock, so I get to watch the ads twice. That's awesome. I love that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, we'll go around and do some plugs. We'll start with Steve because he's probably got the least amount of stuff to plug.
Make sure to plug in an air fryer before you turn it on, otherwise it doesn't work.
Did you make that mistake one
Shit,
time?
I've been doing it unplugged the whole time.
No wonder why you can't. No wonder why you wait a while for your wins and all that type of stuff. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, let's do.
We still got to do an aftershock at Wild Wings, man.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that works.
Or Hooters. Hooters have better wings.
Hooters has a lot of stuff.
But yeah, well, Chris, what do you want to? Is there anything you want to plug or anything like that? Hopefully, the air fryer.
Yeah, whenever we upload the fucking review of this Royal Rumble, just watch it. I don't know what it is. I don't even know when we're doing it. Probably Monday, right?
I said we're recording it Monday, so.
Yeah, we're doing that Monday, so it's probably going to be up by maybe later in the week. Maybe. Who knows? 5 years from now.
It will be up late. It will be up later that night. Probably right when Raw starts, most likely.
If we can arrange,
Huh?
I was saying, if we can arrange it to do it in person, I'll give the belt to whomever wins.
That seems like a plan.
All right, so we'll have to talk about that off camera then.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then anything else you want to plug? Because you got kind of cut off there.
Pluggies.
Okay. I have the most stuff to plug, so obviously some things to plug is obviously the most recent Aftershock that just went out that was very rushed because Chris and I had limited time to do it. And then I literally just uploaded that last night. And then obviously, again, the Rumble, we don't know what's going to happen, if it's going to be in person, if it won't be in person type of thing. I'll have to... We'll probably just talk about that off camera. And then, yeah, and then obviously we have some retros coming. We have been trying to do these retros, but but life's just been busy lately. But we have some John Cena retros we want to get started. We might do some Triple H themed retros since he's going into the Hall of Fame this year. And then,
if I may suggest a retro, because this will flip retro on its head in the best way possible. I think we got to go retro WWE games at some point.
Yeah, we just have to. We have to make sure we can all play the games and everything like that. So
I have one that's in perfect working condition that I think would make for an excellent debut episode. And it's, if you've ever played a PlayStation 2 as a WWE fan, you know exactly what SmackDown I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That was the pain.
Yep.
I just have to.
The best one ever.
Oh, I don't even think I have a PS, so I have to figure that out how I would play it, type of thing.
I do still have a fully functioning PS2.
As do I.
Okay.
Excellent. We can do this then.
Well, that doesn't help me though, because you guys are the only ones that can play. I still can't play it, so I don't know how that helps me. I have to find it online.
Well, we only need one console and 3 controllers.
That's true.
We can do the little trick where if you beat up the referee and he busts you open in a first blood match, the ref wins.
There you go. But yeah, so yeah, maybe retro games will be a thing. And then Steve's due for a retro pick. We're supposed to do the TNA Lockdown 2008 at some point, so we'll see if we can figure that out. And then, yeah, and then obviously we have some other Aftershocks coming up. Chris and Steve and I are still doing the docu-series reviews. Next month, we're going to really get that into high gear. We'll be doing the first episode of Dark Side of the Ring, and we're going to start to do the A&E stuff. And then obviously, because Stephanie McMahon has a new show coming up, that might be in there. I don't know if it's really it qualifies as a documentary, but we'll talk about it. And then up on the Talkinator side of things, we're still doing the Yellow Jackets, Red versus Blue reviews. We're supposed to do season 9, record that Monday. I'm uploading. Right now it's rendering season 2, episode 3, and then it will be season 2, episode 4. We're probably not going to get to Yellow Jackets before it actually premieres because I'm going to be busy that week anyways, so we'll see what happens. And then after we kind of finally move on and get rid of Yellow Jackets and OVB, at least for the time being, out of our lives, except Yellow Jackets will be week to week. We'll do some other reviews there, and then yeah, that's the only things I got to plug. Just make sure you watch the Rumble too. You know, don't just watch our review. Watch the Rumble itself because that's the better alternative. Make sure if you're actually in the area, you're actually enjoying the Rumble experience there because obviously they've made it fun for everybody. And that's pretty much it, guys. It's something being recorded in the past. We would talk to you guys in the future.